Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. If this is your first time here, please hit that like button, share, and subscribe. If you are a subscriber, welcome back. In this video, I would like to talk about my experience with fibroids. I am not a doctor, so please be sure to follow up with your primary care physician if you have any questions, concerns, or if you're having any medical complications related to fibroids or any other related disorder. I also strongly suggest getting to know your own unique body and doing research because all of our bodies are different and your experiences or symptoms may or may not be the same as mine. I hope you find my fibroid story encouraging, informative, and therapeutic. Excuse me. If you have questions, please share in the comments and I will do my best to assist or find resources that I feel will help as I am still learning about fibroids myself. Now I present to you my fibroid story. I did some little bit of research, found out that in the past, one of the main things that individuals would do was do hysterectomies, and to the point to where, and again, I'm giving you information based on what I remember. Any information I give you about fibroids, please, do your own research, check it, because this is just what I can remember when I did my research. It may have changed, but at the time when I did the research on fibroids, I found out that, with fibroids, the main number one treatment was hysterectomy. That's the only way to cure it. That's the removal of the uterus. But then over time, other, procedures and treatments became available. So anyway, fast forward, I was not ready. At the time, it was recommended I do a myectomy, and I don't know if I'm saying that right. And if I didn't say it right, I'll put that spelling in the description box and the definition. You can look it up. But myectomy is a surgical removal of fibroids while preserving the uterus. So at the time, my OBGYN was, recommending that. I wasn't ready for surgery, so I just kind of just fell off. At the time, the insurance I had was just too expensive, so I just didn't go back to the doctor. I'm a veteran, so I decided to just stay with the VA. So my new OBGYN through the VA Medical Center, I expressed to him that I was not ready to do a surgery. I was just, at that time, my thinking was, if I'm going to get surgery and have this fibroid removed, and if it's a chance it will grow back, it didn't make sense, because my thinking was, I want to get married one day, I want to have kids, I don't want to have to keep going back and forth, getting surgery after surgery, getting the fibroids removed. So I just felt like, in my mind, it just made sense to just wait. So that's what I did. Doctor, he supported me in that decision. He did say that the fibroids were large. I don't know much about math or anything like that, but I think at the time they were 19 centimeters. I guess that's big. So at the time, we both agreed, leave it alone. He's just going to monitor it, even though they were huge. But I didn't think nothing of it. I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to get a myectomy. Uterus is going to be reserved. So after a while, me being self-conscious, I found that I couldn't wear many of my clothes. Everything I would put on looked like I was 5 months pregnant. I remember going out, working, doing DoorDash, and the client that picked up his food thought I was pregnant. I said, no, I'm just fat. So I just felt really self-conscious about that. I didn't feel good. And I noticed that my fibroid, it seemed like it was getting bigger and bigger. And then my periods, and if it's TMI for you, I apologize, but I was having heavy bleeding. I don't recall clotting, but heavy bleeding, and it was just to the point where, no, I need to step out on faith, but this is getting real. I gotta get rid of this. So I went on ahead and talked to my doctor, said I'm ready for surgery. I'm just ready for this, just get rid of it. because it's getting too big. It's causing too many complications. I can't wear anything. You know, I'm muscular, a woman. I don't have a lot of fat, but um, and I have a nice shape. I'm not trying to be, conceited or anything. I have a nice shape, but you can't see it because I have this huge belly, and it was just getting bigger and bigger. And oh my God, when I was bloated, I'm trying to be, say, well, you get too much information, but when I was bloated around that time, oh my God, I was just huge. I really looked like I was pregnant like 8 months. It was just horrible. So yeah, I decided to get surgery. I was scheduled for an MRI. Um, I did do a ultrasound, but it doesn't really give you an accurate size or image of what's going on down there, you know. And I've seen ultrasounds. I don't see how people can tell what's there. It's like a big old mess of blob. Anyway, did an ultrasound. Then I had to do an MRI. I did one before. I did another one through the VA. I was thinking about the VA, so I have to pay for that. That's why I just have to do VA. And the doctor called me back, and he told me that my only two options was either let me try to pronounce this right. I think it's a URE. What it is kind of like a non-surgical procedure, or I would say partial surgical procedure. They put something in the blood vessels to kind of starve the fibroid so it can shrink. And I'll go back and get the right information when I can find it. I'll post it out, add it, attach it to the video. Or a hysterectomy. That the H word, I didn't want to hear that, but I was of course I didn't get emotional while he was on the phone, but I guess he knew that it was you know something serious because he was saying he said give me time to talk to a family and come to a decision. So um of course my mom, she said get a second opinion, but um I can't afford a second opinion. I can't. I did look into that, but I couldn't afford it. I have no insurance. The insurance that I have through my job is too expensive or not good. So, um, and you know, I I trust in my doctor, even though if anyone does get diagnosed with fibroids and then they're told that they have to get a hysterectomy, even though I didn't get a second opinion, that's just a choice I made. You know, I would highly recommend getting a second opinion so that you're sure, because you don't want to do something and then regret it later. But looking at the size of my fibroid, I'm learning that based on the size, that determines treatment. And because my fibroid is so big, my uterus is just all fibroid. There's really not much tissue left. So now, if I was small, I would have probably disputed that. But because it's so big, um, that it's in. If you look at tumors, any type of tumor, when when a tumor grows in a certain part of the body, it deforms that part of the body. Even when you get it removed, that part of the body just deforms. So that's what happened with my uterus. There's really no uterus left. So I just said I'm gonna step out on faith, you know, um, roll the dice and go with what the doctor is telling me, and that's the decision I made. Um, and I'm confident with it. But again, if you are diagnosed with fibroids and you're told to get a hysterectomy, I would suggest get a second opinion just to be sure. If you hear it again, if you want to get a third opinion, get it. If you hear it 3 times, then you know, okay, this is what it is. You know, I don't know if anybody in my situation, but growing up, you know, it's not just what my mom taught me, but just, I felt like, I went to church, I kept myself, I wasn't, and I'm not saying this to say I'm better than anybody, but just, I'm going somewhere with this. Stayed in the church, you know, stayed faithful. Well, I stayed consistent in going to church. I won't say my faith was strong. Um, I felt like, okay, I did what I was supposed to do. I wasn't loosey. I wasn't loose or had my leg cocked over every Tom, Dick, and Harry. I believe in waiting until marriage. Um, so in my mind, I did what I was supposed to do. So, and now I am probably not going to be able to carry a child. So, and I said that to say that I don't know if anybody or if anybody watches going to be in that similar situation where they felt like they did everything you're supposed to do, and this happens. You wait, you be patient. You've been told to be patient, wait on the Lord for your husband, and save yourself, and save yourself from marriage, and you follow all the rules, and then this happens. It gets to a point where, okay, now I can't have kids, so the reason why I didn't lose my faith, even though that happens, because you know I was taught that God is bigger than our problems. God is not limited. And you can't look at everything black and white. God has so many ways that I can be a mom. Carrying a child was not the only way. Not the only way. That was just the option that I lost. But there's other options. And God bless me if I keep my ovaries. I can still have a biological child. I just can't carry it. Or I can adopt, or I can, have foster kids. So I had eventually had to, first had to, grieve, and then realize that, God is not limited. We may be limited in what we can do because we're in these bodies, this flesh that's limited and has boundaries, and it gets sick and all that stuff. But God is not limited. And that's what I learned in that situation. If it had not been for my faith, I probably went the other direction, where we're taught to do everything by the book, and if you do everything by the book, everything will fall into place. But that's not the reality. You can do everything right, and still things will not work out the way you think they should, or the way they, that's just life, So anyway, I think I'm gonna stop there because it's getting kind of long. But that's part of my story. I'll come back. But again, thanks for coming in and having a seat and listening to me ramble off. And you have a good night. Bye.
Hello, YouTubers. I hope that you found that video very informative and therapeutic, especially for my targeted population that is between ages of 35 50, African American women who have dealt with fibroids and the complications of fibroids. Before I conclude this video, I wanted to add a few more things and clear up some things. First of all, I wanted to talk about in the part of the video where I mentioned that the OBGYN gave me two options. I want to make it clear that I didn't just settle. First of all, I had at least about a good 4 months to think about my decision, and I did further research and looking at the size of my fibroids and the complications and the fact that it seemed like every year my fibroids were getting bigger. I decided to put my health first. Even if that meant I would not be able to carry a child, I had to put my health first. It was getting to the point where I could no longer wait out for a second opinion, wait and see what's going to happen. It was detrimental to my health. So I made a decision. I wasn't pressured into it, but I made a decision to get a hysterectomy, and I am very confident with that decision. And I'm looking forward to what's going to happen afterwards. I'm pretty happy with my decision. I'm pretty excited to have gotten rid of that never stop growing tumor. So just wanted to clear it up that even though I didn't go for the second opinion, it was just getting to the point where my health is more important. Also, That also leads me to the next thing I wanted to briefly state is that I know most, and this is not based on research, this is based on my experience, but I know you would hear, I used to hear on my research, fibroids, if they don't cause any complications, you don't have to do anything, but I would strongly suggest, keep an eye out and, if fibroids are getting worse, if they're getting big, don't wait. Do not wait to treat your fibroids if they're getting worse, especially if they're getting bigger. I would say, based on my experience, don't wait for a fibroid to get bigger than 6 centimeters. And I do plan on doing a video that goes into more detail about types of fibroids and the size and all that stuff. But for right now, don't wait to get treatment. If you notice your stomach is starting to swell, you're having serious complications, don't wait. Go get treated right away. Because in my situation, because the fibroid was so huge, that's why my options were so limited. And I believe, and if anything I said is wrong, don't feel free to correct me, or let me know, and I'll go back and correct it. But based on my situation, because my fibroid was so huge, I believe that's what cut down on the options I had, to where I had to put my health first. So that's all for now. Yeah, I was trying to keep this video short, but it's a little over 17 minutes, so I will conclude there. Again, if you have any questions, concerns, leave them in the comments. I'll do my best to answer them for you. If I can't answer, I will find some resources or direct you to who I believe will be able to answer those questions for you. And as always, in topics like this, please do your own research and please talk to your doctor. All right, YouTubers. Till next time. Bye.